Under current regulations, innocent people can end up in a maximum security prison. Detention of immigrants has become common since 2006, when the Conservative government introduced a series of measures that made entering Canada increasingly difficult. These included mandatory detention of migrants categorized as, quote, irregular, harsh new restrictions on the rights of guest workers, and new language requirements for citizenship. They also introduced the ability to revoke citizenship for dual citizens. Since then, it's estimated that over 87,000 migrants have been held in detention facilities or prisons. Many have spent over a decade locked up. There have been several cases of minors living in prisons or detention facilities, and each year an average of 242 children, including babies born in Canada, are held in detention centers. Many have died in detention, and there are widespread complaints that those detained are denied adequate medical care. While Canadian citizens have a constitutional right to not be detained without lawful reason, migrants and migrant families can be imprisoned with little or no ability to appeal. The system lacks comprehensive oversight and selectively denies constitutional rights based on immigration status. So why is Canada imprisoning so many migrants? Advocates say that a heightened government crackdown through new restrictions is taking place at a time when more people are fleeing climate change, war, and political repression. The refugee crisis has been accompanied by media coverage that cultivates fear of migrants and refugees. What would improve the situation? The UN says migrant detention systems like Canada's are in violation of human rights and international law. The system is also expensive, costing $50 million in 1 year. Migrant justice advocates are calling for an immediate limit on detentions to 90 days, an end to the use of maximum security prisons, and judicial oversight. In 2016, detainees went on hunger strike 3 times, demanding to speak to the Minister of Public Safety, Ralph Goodall. Here's a detainee speaking about the hunger strike.
The reason we're going on hunger strike is because we don't like the conditions that we're living in. The law's kind of hard on immigration. Like, some people are held months, some people are held years, and there's nothing they can do about it.
The refugee crisis isn't an accident, and as Canadian companies build pipelines, engage in war, and export arms, some are saying that makes Canada one of the causes of the refugee crisis.
Canada is one of the few sort of countries that doesn't have a limit to immigration detention. It's not a crime to be without documentation in Canada or elsewhere. Migrants are often and increasingly criminalized for basically seeking a better life elsewhere or being forced to have to seek a life elsewhere, in part because of Canada's own complicity in wreaking environmental havoc and participating in war and global imperialism all over the world.
A growing movement has been working in solidarity with migrant detainees. Groups across the country have been pressuring politicians to change policies. Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodall has recently announced an investment in new detention centers, but advocates say that the changes don't address the demand.
We know that just in this year, under this government, 3 people have died in immigration detention. We know that 15 people have died that we know of since 2000. And there are all of the others whose names we do not know. All of the others who died when they were murdered or who died after they were sick when they were returned home. So we know that this is about violence and it's about death. And it's about all of us remembering and all of us coming together.
If you're wondering what you can do, check out these websites for more information and to get involved. Thanks for watching. To get future updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel.